Hello and welcome to another episode of Weeb Cafe. I'm Claire, that is Kris. You can't see them, but they are dressed as Kyo from Fruits Basket and has not changed out of cosplay yet.
I still have to film TikToks with my girlfriend. If this wig comes off, it's not coming back on.
Alright, so it's gonna be me and Kyo are talking about the last season, the final season of Attack on Titan. Yay. So, this is obviously part 1, because the second part of season 4 comes out winter 2022, which is way too far away.
Disgusting, that's what it is.
That's what it is. So we're going to be talking about that. We are going to start off with a non-spoiler version, but know that the rest of this podcast will be intense spoilers. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, and we're going to share our opinions, some things that we thought that we knew, and turns out we were wrong. I was so wrong. All right, so we're going to start off with some non-spoilers. Kris, what was your overall feel of season 4?
Fuck Aaron. That's it. Fuck Aaron. Fuck Aaron, fuck Aaron, fuck Aaron. I fucking hate him. I've hated him the whole fucking time. God, I fucking hate him. I hate Aaron with a burning passion. Other than that, I think it was good. My emotions are all over the place and I fucking hate it. I'm just really fucking confused about a lot of things.
Me too. I would like to start off. I'm holding in my anger and my sadness. I have already cried this morning before filming the podcast, because if I didn't cry before, I was going to cry during. But I want to start off by saying that both Kris and I really, really appreciate MAPPA Studios for their intense, amazing work that they did on the tightest schedule. Like, their schedule made me nervous, and I don't even work there.
But also, even, what was it, like episode 14, there was an earthquake that week. So, like, they instead of pushing everything back a week, they just released 2 fucking episodes the next week.
They really pulled through. I enjoy and really love the animation style. I know some people didn't like it. I think they made, I mean, Mikasa's my waifu, but I think she looks just as amazing. And I love her new haircut. I don't care what anyone says. I think MAPPA Studios made everyone look hot as fuck. Except for Flock, who was always disgusting.
I saw a comparison of the flashback scene after Mikasa is kidnapped by the people who killed her parents. It showed a screen cap of when we originally saw it in whatever season that was, and then a screen cap of the redraw they put in season 4, and so much more detail went into MAPPA's version of it than the first one that, like, I was like, wow, I didn't even, like, think of it, but, like, you can see how much more detail and how far animation has come since it originally aired. I really liked it. I personally like MAPPA. I think they did a really good job, like, growing with the characters. I do have some issues with character designs, but I don't think that's necessarily MAPPA's fault. It's more so the author's fault for fucking with my characters. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Also, all respect, nothing but respect for Isayama? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Isama, I think.
Nothing but respect for my man. But also, bro, do you need a number for my therapist? Because I think you would greatly appreciate some hour time with a trained professional. Because mans knows how to kill us and just stab us in our hearts.
Over and over again.
It's a toxic relationship, because I know that he's only gonna hurt me, but I can't stay away.
The ending of this anime is gonna fucking kill us both, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. And I keep on saying this whole time, like, every episode, Kris and I will, like, talk to each other, and I'll be like, oh, I'm fine. I don't care anymore. I've emotionally detached. And then I cry every day. Because I see a new edit of our characters, and so I'm just like, ugh. Also, something that I didn't really appreciate until episode was the intense, amazing music score that was this season. There's just a straight up English song. There's a rap verse in the fucking episode. And I'm just like, what? I loved it. It was amazing. I love the opening. I love the theme. It's forever in my brain.
The opening's a bop. I think that's probably my second favorite Attack on Titan opening. I think my number one would be, I think it's the second opening that, like, everybody knows that the dance is to.
Yeah.
I think that's my number one OP, but then I think this one's my number two for Attack on Titan. All right, you ready to jump into the spoilers?
All right, spoilers. So if you haven't finished part 1 of season 4, click away. But if you're ready, then let's go and you can come cry with us.
I can't cry. I have makeup on.
It's okay. You can't cry. I'll cry for both of us. All right. So we're going to start off with just the beginning so that we're going to try not to jump around too much. So the opening of season 4 starts with Falco waking up in a battlefield. And it has poor Falco.
Falco, my baby.
It's supposed to be a parallel between how Eren wakes up in season 1.
I didn't put that together. I was so fucking confused for like the first 4 episodes. Love and I were like binging them together and we're like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I knew there was a time skip, but now I'm just really fucking confused at this point.
Yeah, see, I thought this was in the past. Even though they literally told us before, hey, this is 5 years in the future, I was thinking this was before. I was thinking this is the war that, like, pushed all the people to parody. So that's for the whole 2 episodes, someone was like, no, that's Reiner. He's just old.
He's still hot.
And that's Zeke.
Hot. I still fuck him. I'd fuck them both.
No, you're disgusting. Daddy. You are absolutely disgusting. I thought it was in the past. And then here I was thinking, I was like, oh, it's World War II. And this all happened in, like, our timeline. And I thought that I was connecting dots that weren't there. And then someone was like, no, this is 5 years in the future. You're dumb.
When Love and I were watching it, we thought it was the past too. It was like, oh, maybe this is how they got where they are. No, we were wrong. We were very wrong. Very, very wrong. Although, I will say, when fucking Eren showed up, I was like, that's fucking Eren. How much you want to bet that's Eren? And I was right. It was Eren, and I still hate that motherfucker. I hate that motherfucker so much. Oh.
First thoughts on the warrior candidates is fuck Gabby.
I actually really loved her when we first met her. I really liked her. I thought Falco was annoying. Didn't even really bother to learn the other candidates' names. I mean, because they're not important. They all die. Zoe, I think, was the other one.
I don't remember the other one. I remember Udo.
Well, that poor kid. He went out with a bang. I liked Gabby when we first met her, and then I was like, oh shit, she's related to Reiner. I love Reiner. And then the more we saw of her, I was like, I hate this bitch. I hate this bitch almost as much as I hate Eren. But I really liked her in the beginning, before everything went to shit.
Gabby is supposed to be a parallel to how Eren was in season 1.
Interesting, considering I've always hated Eren.
Like, she has the same drive, the same, like, I'm gonna kill all the Eldians? Yeah. Because they're, like, the reason why everyone hates her is because she's very ignorant on how, like, the other, like, how the people of parody all really are, and how, like, her people have been discriminated against and shoved into internment camps, basically. But that's the same ignorance that Eren had when he was like, I'm gonna kill every single Titan, all of them, and then he fucking became one. Like, he became the thing that he hated most. And in the same way, Gabby always has been, because she is an Eldian, she became what she hated most, or she always was. That's some deep shit right there. But I always thought Gabby was annoying. I just knew right from the get-go that she was going to be a thorn in my side. I just didn't know how much.
I really thought she would have been dead before the end of part 1.
You would think. But then we see Reiner's having just a just a tough time. Tries to kill himself because of the guilt. No mood, Kris. Yeah, so Reiner's just coming down from his split personality trip thing that he went on. And one of the things that I thought was that I was angry about until social media taught me to like laugh at the pain was that scene he had with his family with Gabby, where he's like, oh, they're devils. There was this one girl who held a potato and she ate it in the middle of everyone, and then she broke off half, but it wasn't half, and she gave the smaller half to like this other guy. And I was just like, is that seriously, like, you're seriously gonna disrespect my Sasha like that? And then people were like, well, that's what he said because he couldn't think of any like actually terrible things to say.
So, one of the things I love about Reiner, the last time you kind of see him in season 3, and then specifically in the first couple of episodes, especially when he's like, figures out that Aaron's there, he has this conflict going back and forth. Because he was raised and taught to hate the Eldians his whole life. Went on a secret mission to go get insider information so that they could come back and destroy them. And then when he leaves and he comes home, especially with that scene, he's conflicted. Like, he knows he should hate them and they're the enemy, but at the same time, he was friends with them. He, like, grew up with them for several years. Like, he made connections and saw that they're not these horrible people. So he's conflicted between, these are my enemies, I should kill them, but also, they were my friends and they really did care for me. Even when they found out that he was from the mainland. I mean, yeah, they were kind of upset, but, like, they still see him as a friend. Like, he's so conflicted about it, and that's, I think, why I love him. And that's the one redemption arc that I like from any character I've watched so far. Everybody else, I'm like, fuck him, I don't care. No redemption arc. But Reiner gets his redemption arc for me.
So Reiner's just having, like, a tough time. You see him, like, he sees, like, his old quote-unquote friends, because they weren't really his friends. No one really liked Reiner as a kid. He wasn't really supposed to be a warrior candidate. But he sees the new, like, Falco, Gabby, Udo, and whatever the other one is. You see, he, like, sees them as, like, his old friends of, like, Annie and Bertolt and the one that was not supposed to be Ymir, but now is Ymir.
Yeah, I don't remember that kid's name.
Yeah, and then now let's talk about the other Titans. Poco! What are your thoughts on Poco?
I didn't really care for him, but then watching everything he goes through, like, with Falco, like, my older sibling instinct was like, oh, I like this dude. Because, like, if I was in his situation, I would do the exact same thing for love, like, if anything like that happened. He's okay. I don't really feel like he's, like, a major player or anything. We don't really see him much, honestly. Like, you kind of see him in the beginning, then you don't see anything of him, and then you get, like, one snippet of him at the last episode? That's it. He's not really, like, a major player. It's like, I don't really have much to say about him.
He looks like every guy that went to my high school who tried to be from California.
What's up, dude?
What's up, guys?
Totally, bro, totally.
Yeah. What do you think about Peak? He's hot.
I'd tap that shit.
Oh my god.
Peak!
Peak!
I can't believe I screamed that last episode. I'm so mad at myself. Honestly, I knew you had the hots for her, and I was like, she's okay. But then, in, episode 15, when she's infiltrated Paradis and the army, I was like, damn, she hot. I'd tap that. Her and her 6 foot tall, non-binary top.
Hell fucking yeah. Man, I love it so much. Okay, so, and then Monkey. Asshole. Monkey.
I mean, Zaddy.
No.
I hate this motherfucker, especially after episode 15. But, Zaddy.
I hate you.
I hate him, but I like him at the same time. Because, like, the whole reasoning behind his plan to destroy the Titans, like, it's, like, plausible. And, like, it makes sense because he doesn't want anybody else to be ostracized and grow up the way he and everybody else of his descent has. But also, you can't really take away people's reproductive rights.
Sounds very man. Sounds like a very big male thing.
As the United States is still trying to fucking figure out. I liked him, but after he fucked with everybody with the wine and left Levi once again with nobody and then tried to kill Levi.
When's he gonna understand that he just can't?
Like, Levi's gonna end him before he does. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Like, he literally blew himself up to try to end Levi. And I know we don't see it in this part of the season, but you have had it confirmed by somebody who's read the manga that he does in fact survive that explosion.
Yeah, Levi doesn't die.
So, Levi, I don't want to call him a cockroach, because he's not a cockroach. But he's like a cockroach. That man is never gonna fucking die.
It's just Zeke's is stupid. He's overconfident. He's like, oh, I'm the Beast Titan. I can do whatever I want. Can't kill Levi. You get captured every single fucking time by freaking Levi freaking Ackerman.
By a midget. You get captured every time by a killer midget.
Oh my god. So then, we see what I thought was Armin, but instead was just the Elena with a beard.
I fucking thought that was Armin too. Like, when we saw her from the back, when she led Piek and, sorry.
Piek and Poco.
And Poco, I almost called him Falco, and Poco into that trap, I 100% thought it was Armin. I was like, oh shit, Armin got tall. And then it's not till episodes later, I was like, oh fuck, that's not Armin. Who the fuck is that?
It was, because even on Wikipedia said that was Armin. So I was like, is that Armin? And then it said, and Armin shows up and throws them in. It's changed now, but I was just like,
that's because nobody knew who it was. But I love after that whole thing and they get back on the ship, and I think it was Levi who said, like, are you gonna just continue to wear that? And that's when she, like, pulls off the beard and she's like, oh, but I really like it. And I was like, that's a mood, man. You know, sometimes you just want to look real masculine.
Yeah. God, I fucking love Yelena. I hate her, but I love her.
I would let her step on me and end my life and say thank you.
You wouldn't even have to ask. She would just do it just 'cause.
Don't remember their name, but we just see the Titan form, the Warhammer Titan.
Oh, yeah, that bitch.
So, don't remember her name, but I do remember, like, when we first get to see the Warhammer Titan, so fucking badass. 100% my favorite Titan now out of the founding Titans.
Then we see Falco being kind of manipulated by Eren, because Falco's a good boy, and he just wants to help.
Falco deserves better.
And he was just like, oh man, the amount of memes of when they're in the basement.
Are you talking about the Snapchat memes? Because those were my fucking favorite.
Yes! And I'm just like, oh, hey, Mr. Reiner, there's this old friend that wants to see you. Mr. Reiner? Mr. Reiner?
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit! Like, this is when Falco knew. He fucked up. It was, oh my god. So many memes. I loved it so much.
He just thought he was doing what was right. And Eren is a fucking piece of shit, like always.
The whole thing, because it was the first time where I was like, because I was fully on Team Eren the whole time. Already the people were talking about, oh, it's a morally gray world. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm Team Eren. And then a couple episodes later, I was like, I'm Team Survey Corps. I'm Team Hanji. Whatever Team Hanji's on, I'm going to be on that one.
Which, you know, Hanji's going to go wherever Levi goes. And low-key, Levi has been done with Eren's shit. Probably since he met that kid.
Oh my god, yeah. Levi and Eren have the best reunited scene of all time, which is just Levi just kicking him in the face. Which is just great. Nice reboot. So loved that. But so what happened was that frickin' Lucius Malfoy version of that guy, was making a speech, and he was like, this whole history that you've been taught saying that you're devils, it's incorrect. In fact, the Marlians were the oppressors. Crazy, right? Given all that, we're gonna go blow up their fucking island and kill all of them. And then Eren just drop kicks them out of the universe and starts his rampage.
And then eats the Warhammer Titan.
Yeah, okay, which is important to bring up because Warhammer Titan encased herself in the ice crystal that Annie did. But then Poco, with his Jaw Titan, is able to crack the crystal. And was able to eat. Eren now has the Warhammer Titan, which he hasn't used yet, which we haven't seen him use.
So, like, my question is, so he has 2 Titans? 3?
The Founding Titan, the Attack Titan, and now the Warhammer Titan. Or the Founding and the Attack Titan the same thing?
That's what I was going to say. I think they're the same thing.
Are they the same thing? Okay, then maybe he only has 2.
But can you use multiple Titans? Like, how does that happen? And then when he gets eaten, does somebody get 2 Titans? Like, I have so many questions about the Titans and how this shit works. I'm just so absolutely confused. Because what is the point of having one? Because Eren's fucking goal at this point is to have all the Titans, or at least that's what it seems like. But what's he gonna do with all of them? Because I don't think you can use all of them.
No, my original idea was that he's trying to eat all the Titans so that all the Titans can die with him. So he just wants to make sure that no one inherits the Titans after him. That's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I thought his whole motivation was before we learned that Zeke and him are working together. So then the Survey Corps shows up way too late in the game. Fucking five episodes in, and we were just like, when are they gonna show up?
To be fair, we don't know what the original plan was, but they had a plan scheduled, and they were working through it because we know that Jean was already in Marley, because we see him from the back, and I will talk about his appearance later.
Sexiest jawline ever.
Yes, but the mullet, no. God damn the fucking mullet. Why you gotta do that to my mans? But so they already had people infiltrating because I believe we find out later that somebody else was already infiltrated the army as well. So they had a plan and they were working on leading up to the big attack, but then fucking Eren said, fuck your plan, I'm gonna do what I want, and has Falco mail out these letters to go off about how this is what we're doing. I'm doing this day at this time, so, like, you better be here, or I'm just gonna go on my own fucking rampage, which he does anyways, because he's a fucking bitch, and he doesn't care about anybody but himself. Which is very...
Yeah, but also, so, Jean was there, but also Yelena was there, but I don't think they knew that Yelena was there. I think Yelena was there only for Eren's plan.
Probably, yeah, because him and Zeke were working behind the scenes before all of that. But basically, Eren was like, fuck your plan, I'm gonna do my own plan, so here we go. And of course that fucks shit up and leads to deadly consequences for people who should still be alive.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more so that I can put off talking about what I need to talk about. Okay, so other than Mikasa and Levi having the fucking dopest entrance of all anime time, Mikasa is still trying to save Eren.
Fuck that shit. Let him die. Mikasa, you deserve better.
And the whole time, because Mikasa's like, you killed innocents and children. And this whole time I'm thinking, like, weren't they planning this? Because we didn't know at that point that this wasn't their plan. I was just like, what, isn't this what was supposed to happen? And Eren's just like, fuck them kids.
Eren's like, oops.
Eren's like, I don't care.
Looking back on it now after watching the whole season, that plan doesn't sound like anything they would have done. They're not these devils that they're made out to be to the Marlians. They want to take out the bad guys, but they didn't want to kill innocent lives. Like, they would not have fucking let Eren just fucking loose on this town when all of these people are congregated in one area. And he's stomping people and he's throwing rocks at people. They would have tried to have been more sneaky and thought more about the loss of innocent lives than to just be like, fuck all you bitches. You're dead.
And again, another parallel to the first season is that Eren is basically, he did the same thing to them as what Reiner did to him. And I think he brings that up to Reiner.
I think he does.
Yeah, where he was like, it's okay, Reiner. I forgive you. We're the same. Because what you did to me, I'm about to do to you and your entire family. And then Reiner just like passes out because he tries to, he like protects Falco when Eren transforms so that he doesn't get crushed. And then Reiner just passes out. And there's that audio when Gabby is trying to like wake up Reiner. And there's an audio that's like, oh, you look so adorable sitting there doing absolutely fucking nothing. Get your ass up. And I was like, oh, I hate Gabby, but that was really funny.
I think you sent me that TikTok. My favorite one, it was an audio similar to something like that. And it's like everybody's yelling and he's like, just let me fucking die. Like, I just want to die. It's like, I'm trying to die, but people won't leave me alone.
And so then that happens. Eren successfully kills a shit ton of people. We get to see Armin in his colossal form for one time only. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it ever again. But that was cool. He looks so sad. Poor Armin. And then we get to the airship.
Oh no, not the airship.
It's okay, I've already cried. Alright. I'm going to be very calm when I say this. This paragraph that I wrote was written in anger. But I'm not going to read it in anger. I'm going to say it very calmly. And I'm just going to explain why I think Sasha's death was stupid as fuck. I don't know if I've actually ranted to you. I ranted to Ash in a very non-spoilery way, which then she immediately figured out, but also Ash got spoiled for a bunch of stuff, so then she just knew. But, so Sasha was and continues to be my favorite character of all time. I relate to her. She's the character that I feel like most represents me as a person. And she died being shot by Gabby, a literal 12-year-old.
Fuck Gabby.
Fuck Gabby so
Fuck
much.
Gabby.
That's when all sympathy I had for Gabby just, it died with Sasha. But so Sasha is the comedic relief character. She's there to bring some like happiness and some like lighthearted energy to the show. And for some reason, that means that she doesn't get like a very good death scene. Like she doesn't get her literal last word was meat, and I think that's stupid as fuck. Because here, let me show you that. It's taking one part of her personality and making it the last thing she ever says. The only thing I can like kind of equivocate it to in the same show is if Levi said like teacup when he died, or something like, make sure you clean up the blood that's oozing out of my body. Something stupid like that. It's taking one tiny section of a character and just pushing her down towards that. Like, okay, here we go. I forgot his name, but black hair, bowl hair, cut guy from season 3 who was dating Hitch. That guy. Literally, the last thing he thought about and what he was talking about is like, oh, like I'm imagining the woman I love and like how she's like sleeping peacefully, and then he's kind of questioning himself like, what am I doing here? What's happening? Like, I think that was a wonderful death scene, and Erwin gets to choose to not become the Titan, the Colossal Titan. Like, he gets to really make a last decision for himself. And then Sasha just says, meat? Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna take my favorite character and you're going to treat her death as a fucking joke. And I know that later on in almost every single episode afterward, they bring her up. They have a lot of respect, and I do enjoy that. But when I wrote this paragraph, it was in the moment, and I am still very upset about it, that just the absurdity of what happened is just absolutely ridiculous. And I understand that the point of her death was to show the casualty of war and that it's not fair. I understand that it's not fair. I get it. That doesn't mean I have to like it. And I really think that it could have been someone else. I love Connie so much, but I would have rather it have been him.
Oh, don't do Connie like that.
I love Connie, but I think Sasha dying was stupid. And then Aaron laughed afterwards.
Fuck Aaron. So I was talking to two people. I was talking to Lauren, and then I was talking to Tay about it. And I was like, because I was mad. I'm still mad. Like, I don't like that they did the meat thing. That was really stupid. I really don't think Sasha should have died. And I was like, I wish she would have had, like, a more heroic death. And Tay told me, because of the way it's going, they said that there's not going to be any more heroic deaths. Like, this is just, like you were saying, the casualties of war. But I was also talking to Lauren about it, and Lauren said Sasha's death marks the end of the happy times, and all that's going to be ahead is death and war. So it's her death, although I know we both hate it, is a symbol of how it's all shit is just... diarrhea is just constantly hitting the fan from here on out. Which is exactly what happens. So part 2 of season 4 is going to be a nightmare for us.
Oh my god. And they just, and okay, after I've said that, I do appreciate that every time they do bring up Sasha, it is in a respectful-ish way for the most part, especially the main characters. And they do really value her death. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't very good for me because every time they brought her up, it always continued to make me cry. But I am glad that her death did really solidify some stuff, especially for Jean and Connie, who now fucking hate Aaron with a burning passion.
I think that right there was a turning point for a lot of the original group on no longer trusting Aaron and his instincts, because if they had people would have died regardless if they had gone along with the original plan, which we still don't know what it was. But had they followed the original plan, they would have had preparations for different events. Sasha is dead because Aaron decided to be a dick and put his own plan into action and not telling anybody. Also, they should have noticed when they were calling to the guy on the line that Gabby killed, and that's how she got into the ship. They should have known to look out. Like, they prematurely celebrated as well, which doesn't help. But I solely blame Sasha's death on Aaron and the fact that he wanted to do his own plan because he was sick of waiting and doesn't agree with what everybody else is trying to do.
I completely agree.
But that is where, like you said, you can definitely tell that Jean and Connie are over him. Armin's done with his shit. And then, of course, so is Mikasa. Like, I never realized how much of a friendship had developed between Mikasa and Sasha until that scene.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love them. Like, Sasha, someone pointed it out, that Sasha has really been the main... Sasha and then Armin have been the consistency in Mikasa's life, even though Armin was more focused on Aaron than on Mikasa. But Sasha has been the main focus of, like, Mikasa's life. Like, Mikasa had to, like, help her. She, like, saved her a couple times. She, like, made sure that she was, like, fed in a whole bunch of the promo videos. There's, like, the one where they're having a picnic, and then Mikasa is feeding Sasha a pie, and it's the cutest thing ever. And it's just, and obviously you can tell in the next episode at Sasha's funeral that Mikasa is just absolutely devastated because she lost her best friend.
She lost one of the few friends that she had. And I don't want to say this, like, I feel like saying this makes it sound like Armin was only her friend because she was attached to Aaron's hip, which in the beginning is probably the case. But, you know, they've grown up together. They went through training together. They were in the scouts together. But Sasha was one of the first people that Mikasa made friends with of her own accord.
Yeah, not because Sasha was obsessed with Aaron, but because she wanted to be friends with Mikasa.
Yeah. Even though Sasha just really forced herself on Mikasa and was like, we're gonna be friends now, whether you like it or not. Which is a very Claire thing to do.
Yeah. I'm just like, if I decide that you're my friend, that's it for you. I'm sorry. You're just no backing out now. No matter how hard you try. Can't get away.
Unfortunately.
You're stuck with me. Ha ha ha.
God. Fucking damn it. But yeah, so she lost not only her best friend, but the first friend that wanted to be friends with her because of her, not because they were already friends with Eren or they were interested in Eren.
And then we're introduced to the king himself. The man who respects all women. And the king himself, Niccolo. The love of my life. I love that man so much. Oh my god. Talk about enemies to lovers in the span of a heartbeat. Man, did that man switch sides real quick.
Hey, listen. When you're in enemy territory and a hot devil woman likes your cooking and you know she could slit your throat in 2.5 seconds, that's how you fall in love, man.
Man, I love them so much. Because I knew about Niccolo before season 4 came out. Because I'm absolute trash. And I have a whole Pinterest board of my favorite ships. And I never really shipped Sasha with Connie.
I didn't either. I could see it, but no.
I can see it and I respect it. I just don't see it. And he even said it at her funeral, like she was my twin. Like they were siblings. Like he loved her, but as like a sibling. But I was just, it's something that I was like, oh, Sasha, but she's a comedic character. So I was like, oh, she's probably not going to get the love interest. But honestly, how Isama writes love interest, I didn't really want her to have one.
Jokes. Jokes.
Yeah. So I was just like, but nope, she got a love interest. I think apart from Ymir and Historia, Niccolo and Sasha might be my favorite pairing in all of Attack on Titan.
They're very cute. I really like that pairing too.
Well, you better, because we do Niccolo and Sasha.
We do Niccolo and Sasha, don't we? The only thing that makes me so sad about it is we didn't even get to see them in like current times together. All we get of them is flashbacks, and that makes it hurt so much fucking more.
One flashback of them together. We only get one. We only got the first one when he first met her, when she was tearing up Lobster. That's the only one that we see where they are together. And the rest is just current time of him talking about her, and the amount of times that people just like, oh, I thought they were dating. Oh, he was obviously in love with her. And then Okay. We're getting ahead ourselves because we're jumping forward. But let me just finishing my point on Niccolo, that I like, there have been like people who have given like love professions, and Ymir like obviously asked Historia to marry her every 5 seconds, but Niccolo at every single possible chance has told anyone who was listening, how much he cared for Sasha. And I mean, we'll never know if she knew. We'll never know.
I think she did know.
I think she did know, but it's not confirmed. And we don't know, like, oh, man, fuck!
Well, you go cry in a corner. I loved this man the first time we saw him. And then that's Sasha's love interest. And we see him, and like each time we like hear him talk about her, I'm like, I love this man. And then we cut to the scene where they're at his restaurant. And it's John and Connie, and they pick up a bottle of wine. And John and Connie are joking around about drinking it, like, oh, only high-ranking officers get this. Well, we're high-ranking officers, we should get a bottle too. And Niccolo snatches that wine bottle up so fast from their hands and is calling them slurs and is being a real dick. And like, it physically broke my heart. I was like, I thought you were on their side. Like, where did this suddenly come from? Was this all a lie? Like, are you just super conflicted because you fell in love with Sasha and you know, like, you're not supposed to? But then it all comes to light when we figure out that Zeke's spinal fluid is in the wine. And, like, I was like, oh, thank God. Because I was like, I really didn't want to have to hate him. And then, like, even Jean and Connie make a comment, like, whoa, dude, like, calm down. We were just joking. And he was like, I thought we were cool. Like, I thought we were friends. Which makes me think they did hang out. I don't know if they hung out outside of work, but I'm sure they probably frequented his restaurant a lot. Because they talk like they're friends.
Well, yeah, well, he wasn't working at the restaurant until, like, recently. Because, like, they only, because he said something like, oh, because of, like, the work I did, now they gave me this restaurant, which makes it seem like he's only been there not that long, because I know it is confirmed that he was just their chef for a long time, like, while the anti-Marleyan volunteers were there. Oh, also, apart from Yelena and Nicolo of the anti-Marleyan volunteers, we gotta talk about my man Onyun Kapun, because I love him.
Him and Hanji, I love them together.
Power duo, seriously.
I'm not saying it's a ship, but in all of, like, our ships, like, the classic ships, there's the high energy one, and then there's the really calm, like, puts them in their place, and that's them, but, like, as friends. Like, and I love it. Like, he's just always getting wrapped into her shit, and I love it.
I love it so much. But also, poor Hanji, man. I feel so bad. They need a hug so bad. And goddamn. They kind of have, like, this existential crisis for a second after Eren put his disgusting, grubby, musky hands on them.
Ooh, I almost broke my TV. I was about to throw some. I was like, this motherfucker has already broken the ice. Like, I already hate him. But he put his hands on my royal majesty. He's dead. He's dead.
Eren just did really everything in his power to make us hate him. And I want to talk about why I think that is later on.
But also, can we just talk about the fact how after Eren lets Hanji go, Hanji's like, oh, Eren, you pervert. I was like, okay, but why is that me making jokes after a situation like that?
Be like, Eren almost freaking killed you. Ooh, Eren, what you doing there, bud?
You pervert, getting grabby hands. Even more solidifies why I love Hanji.
Hanji's a wonderful commander, and they've really done everything, and I think that they feel like they failed. I definitely feel like they failed Sasha, but it wasn't their plan. Like, they had a plan, and it wasn't their fault that Sasha died. Like, and the rest, because I know, like, a few other scouting people died. I'm sorry, I don't know your names.
They're unimportant. They were probably gonna die anyways.
But Sasha died, and I know that Hanji takes responsibility for it.
Well, you can even see that in another scene where it's, like, Hanji's internal monologue. And I think it was right after the Eren scene or some meeting, and they're like, did, like, Erwin make the right choice by making me commander after his death? Like, am I doing the right thing? Like, they're, like, internalizing all this when it's like, you did the best you could with what you had. Had you followed the plan, had Eren not fucked the shit up, like, there's a possibility that Sasha could still be alive. But there's also a possibility that if you had followed your own plan, Sasha could have also died too.
Yeah, and everyone else could have died. We'll never know. But with the plan that we do know, we can be mad at Eren for it. And we are. So.
Fuck Eren.
But fuck Eren. So then Eren escapes. And so does Gabby and Falco. They escape too. But let's talk about Eren for a second. So Eren escapes to go and to have some, like, brotherly bonding time. And they form, and him and, oh my god, fucking Flock, fanboy piece of shit.
First off, Marlo should have survived that attack, not fucking Pom-Pom Head. Of anybody, Marlo should have survived. Him and Hitch are adorable, and I will cosplay Hitch at some point. But he should have survived, because, like, honestly, if Marlo lived, the Yeagerists would not have formed. The fucking Yeagerist. Why that name of all things? I hate it.
I don't know. Okay, so then Eren escapes, and Flock has him waiting at the sunset with only a t-shirt. First of all, can we talk about Aaron's flat ass for just a second?
No wonder I don't like him.
Yeah, you're an ass man.
I am.
And then, so Flock, so having escaped from prison, Aaron's like walking up. He's like, hey, Flock, you're the leader of my new fan club. Let's go find Zeke. And Flock's like, I brought you some clothes, Aaron. This is just a jacket. I mean, yeah, sorry, couldn't find a shirt. You're telling me that Flock has had this planned for a long ass time, probably since Aaron got back.
And all he had was a jacket.
Oops, sorry, Aaron. I couldn't find a shirt, but here's this jacket. Maybe you can put it on in slow motion, please.
We lost the jacket on the way up here. I'm so sorry. For real? For real?
You can borrow my shirt if you want, Aaron. No, the jacket's fine.
But I liked how they make it slow-mo as he puts the jacket on. I'm like, he's not hot shit. He should be a dead cockroach right now. But, like, also, can we talk about the fact with the Yeagerist? First off, I hate the name. I hate the fucking name. Whoever came up with that, I hate it.
Probably Flock.
Probably was Pom-Pom Head. It comes in later when, the Yeagerists are taking over fucking the world, that they are doing the exact same thing that Marley did to the Eldians in Marley with the fucking armbands. We're back in Nazi Germany again. Twice in this show.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's they don't know another way of controlling them other than the way that the oppressors did. So it's like it's the same thing of like a dad yells at his kid and then the kid goes to school and yells at another kid. Like, it's the only way that they know how. History repeating itself. You got to learn from your past mistakes.
You do. And it just goes to show too, because surprise surprise, I have, I guess, technically an associate's in history, specifically women's history. And one of the big things that I learned in my history classes was that the history books are written by the conquerors, by the oppressors. They're the ones who write it, which explains why when you look back at the Eldian texts that the kids learn in school, the Eldians were horrible and they killed all these people and they used the Titans and we managed to knock them down, but it's like, they probably really weren't that horrible. And then the Marlians are the one who wrote the horrible textbooks to make Eldians look like trash.
And it is very, like, has World War II. Like, it's obviously not, like, all World War II, but it definitely has symbolism from that. I do also know that a lot of the way that the Eldians are treated was more of, like, the traditional Japanese experience during World War II, is what I heard someone say. But the whole thing about blaming the Eldians for something that happened, like, a long-ass time ago was very much what Hitler did to the Jewish people. Be like, oh, well, they lost us World War I, and then we had to pay, like, all this money to the rest of the world.
Well, also, fun fact about Hitler, another reason why he hates Jews is because when his mother died, I think she got sick, the doctor that she saw was Jewish. So that's another reason why he hated the Jews, because he blamed the Jews for his mother's death. Another thing, too, because I noticed this when I first started watching Attack on Titan, the architecture style is very reminiscent of Germany as well. Like the cottage-looking buildings, the forestry, because it's set in essentially Germany without being Germany. And they have German names.
Yeah, I think the inspiration, there's a town where Isayama got the inspiration was in Bavaria. So, yeah. And also Eren Yeager. Wait, can we... Eren Yeager! Also, can we talk about Falco saying Gabby in that one scene with the horse? And he's like, Gabby! Gabby! Oh, it's so fucking...
I love all the memes that came out after that episode, and it was like, my favorite ship in Attack on Titan. It's Gabby with the horse's mouth over her head.
Alright, well, this is, we're not even close to being done with this, so we're gonna pull an Attack on Titan Season 4, and we're gonna have a Part 2!
We won't make you wait over a year for it.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, thanks for tuning into another episode and listening to us ramble. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Weeb Cafe Podcast. You can tweet at us and whatnot. You can also email us if you want to suggest animes we watch or topics you want us to cover or something like that at Weeb Cafe at Weeb Cafe Podcast at gmail.com. You should also check out some of these other cool Weebish podcasts that I have been listening to, and they're Shonen Flop. They do flopped manga from Shonen Jump. Very funny. These guys are hilarious. There is also They're Not Cousins, which is a Sailor Moon podcast run by 3 hilarious women. And Otaku's Delight, which is run by 3 black women who I enjoy just listening to everything they have to say. As for it, that's all we got. We'll see you next week with part 2 where we talk about how much we still fucking hate Aaron. Alright, goodbye!
Bye!